Hey and hello to everybody and welcome to what is officially the last video of 2023. Hey everybody, and how are you doing? I hope you're all well and I hope you've enjoyed the festive season and looking forward to a brilliant new year, and let's all look into 2024 with so much joy and passion, and I hope everybody is looking forward to the new year. But that is it. This is going to be the last video of 2023. I know I've been quite quiet these last few weeks, but there's been a lot going on behind the scenes, and yeah, I'm looking back at 2023 to the very first video and how it all started and what I started to set out for this year and how many goals I have in fact ticked off the list in this mind-blowing of a year for me. So let's have a quick little recap really. So I'm guessing I can't talk about 2023 without going for the big project. The big project of this year was in fact the musical that both me and Fee were putting on in the West End this year. Tats and Talent is a brand spanking new theatre company which is being formed by my sensational talented wife. So Tats and Talent was created early 2023. The whole project started back in January, where we met a group of actors for the very first time. We had no project, no idea what we were going to do, and in February we were given the opportunity to put on our very first production of the Green Room musical, and it just snowballed from there. We managed to assemble a sensational cast. It wasn't always easy. We got a good handful of people to begin with, and there were a couple of casting issues going forward where people couldn't quite commit to the schedule. Some people felt that they couldn't quite commit to the characters or anything like that, so we had to recast and continue to go in. But we got there in the end, and it was such a lengthy struggle because of budgeting and money and how we were sort of starting off. We stretched the entire process over the year to have our first show in October 2023 at no other place but a very good venue, the Comedy Store, and everybody involved was looking forward to it, and we were so privileged to have such a wonderful collective of people to be involved, not just the cast but also the band members. Big shout out to Oscar and his team, who were just sensational throughout the entire process, and we are blessed to have all these people around us for what was potentially been the first show of Tats and Talent. Now, we did get a show up and running. The Comedy Store housed our very first production, which we called a West End show, because let's face it, it is in the West End. You can literally throw a stone outside the door and you will hit Piccadilly Circus. And it went off sensational. We got a standing ovation, we got a really good review in a couple of publications, but unfortunately it didn't end exactly the way that we wanted because of a sort of like a difference of opinion between the company and the venue. The show got called off short, and yeah, it wasn't ideal. There was a couple of sad faces, but do you know what? We will still see it as a success, because not only did we manage to get a very successful show off the ground, we probably shot for the stars too high. If we were in a lower community theatre, we would probably have done an entire run and it could have been a bit more of a success. But you know, we went for the Comedy Store, a venue that is known for its stand-up comedy. They wanted to change a few things up and bring in a production, and it just wasn't for them, and we completely understand it. But as it stands right now, Tats and Talent are the only theatre company to ever put a show on that I know of at the Comedy Store which isn't stand-up comedy. So it's a success, it's a win-win. A group of guys got the opportunity to perform on a particularly famous stage within London, and yeah, there was a proper little buzz about the whole sort of process of getting there in the end. And you know, we've made some really good friends along the way, so we can't necessarily say it was a overall success, but it's definitely not a failure. And Fee is already banging out, getting ready for her next show, which I will discuss at a later video if you are in fact interested. But moving on to other things that have happened this year, I have successfully, potentially up until December, continued to create on this platform. YouTube has been my number one focus going throughout. Everything else that I have done, be it client work or publication work or anything like that, has all been a subject to try to continue on this platform. And I have grown sensationally. This year, I reached over 1,000 subscribers, which I wasn't planning to do. I was struggling to get there as quick as I could, but I eventually got there, and it has been nice and steady ever since. And I cannot be any more happier for each and every single one of you who have joined the B team and come along. And thank you if you are one of the new subscribers that have come along this year. But personally, as an actor, this year has been very, very successful in my way, not only as an actor, but also as a filmmaker. I took the decision midway through the summer to change my agents. I've been with my last agency for a number of years. We've had a fantastic relationship, but I felt like there was something new that needed to be done. So I changed agencies, and my new agent, Sue, has been non-stop busy for me going forward. And it feels like that 2024 could potentially be a very, very good year, considering what I'm doing personally as a filmmaker. One of the biggest things that I have done this year is that I produced probably my biggest film to date. Beforehand, when I was producing movies, it was just basically me, a camera and a tripod, and I was just trying to cut my teeth to learn how to be a better filmmaker. But this year I decided to up the game a little bit, and I produced a film called Been Here Before, and I'm overwhelmed by how successful it was. I always planned to try to make a bigger, better movie. I always planned to put it forward for film festivals, but I never expected it to be received as well as it has done. Right now, all festivals have been shut for that particular film, and you are now looking at an award-winning filmmaker, because Been Here Before has in fact won 10 awards across the film festival sort of market, and it has literally given me the confidence and the extra boost to carry on forward. So I'd like to thank the guys who came along. With Been Here Before, I decided to bring my mate Ashley on to sort of shoot it for me. That way I don't need to concentrate on trying to find ways of shooting the film with just a camera and a tripod. Nathan came along to act beside me, who is a sensational, talented man, and you will definitely see more of him in 2024 via this channel, and especially with Tats and Talent, so keep an eye out for him. And we did. We went out and we decided to make the best film that we can, and by no doubt it turned out really, really well. And with the help of my mate Stuart, who is in a band, he had lent us the music, allowed us to use it, and it has. It's kicked off massively. In fact, one of the awards was Best Soundtrack, which all kudos to Stuart, well done. Which also means that I have managed to shoot my next film in November this year, which will come out later on in 2024. And again, I decided to up the game again. I brought in somebody to shoot it again, a wonderful young man, and another crew member, Reese, who you may have remembered from the green room, came along and performed in it as well. And we are hoping for the same type of success with this one, because once again we have upped the game in the production value, and I've seen a rough cut of it so far because I've got a separate editor. He's editing it for me, and it looks sensational. And yeah, it's just been that type of year, really, because also off the back of this type of success, off the back of having a good quality film out there, for the first time ever, I was actually invited to be taking part in a movie. Instead of me auditioning for something, instead of me sort of going, hi, how you doing? I want to be in your movie. Somebody reached out to me on Instagram and said, listen, I've seen your profile, I've seen your work, I want you to be in my production. And then I spent a day in Bristol pretending to be a soldier, shouting orders at people, and it was just a sensational experience. And it was so nice to be able to walk onto a set and chat to people and sort of like know that I've been invited to it. And that's the first time as an actor I've had that experience. So again, what a sensational moment in my professional career. I'm also blown away by the people that I've met this year. Some of them I've met before in previous years, but I've met so many new faces and made so many new friends going forward because of this content creation family that exists out there, not only through YouTube but also Instagram. And it's been so nice to be part of this community that has grown throughout the success of what content creation actually is. Yeah, I am a small content creator. I'm probably only speaking to 2 to 3 of you right now, but at the end of the day, I appreciate that you are here. I appreciate that you are taking your time out of your day to watch this video. And there are still so many people that I want to meet in 2024. And I cannot wait to have the opportunity to do so. But I've not gone on as many meets because of other work, because of other factions that have sort of happened throughout this year. But I hope to go on more next year and meet more creators, meet more photographers, try to meet more filmmakers, and try to sort of grow my sort of little circle of creative friends to try to sort of like bounce ideas off and, you know, create more with more sensational people. So that is the plan going into 2024. So I do look back at this year and feel maybe not everything went to plan, but at least there was a plan this year. I wasn't just winging it. I wasn't just deciding to, you know, let's see what happens. We had a plan, we stuck to it. Most things were a success. Most things were ticked off. And there are a few things that are still ongoing. But for the time being, guys, thank you so much for being part of this journey with me. Thank you so much if you've been here from January and you're now here in December. I really cannot wait for more discoveries in 2024. And I hope from the bottom of my heart that you'll be there with me. But until next time, guys, from my family to yours, have a sensational and safe new year, and I will see you in 2024. Happy New Year.